Hey guys, what's going on? Hope everybody's having a good day out there today. Thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. And today I'm going to give you guys a real simple system for setting your drags on your spinning reels and your bait casting reels both. I think that there's a lot of misconception as far as how to set your drag. Maybe a lot of people don't really know or understand. And I've got a very, very simple explanation for it that's going to, I think, make everything a lot more efficient for you guys, lose less fish, and simplify the entire approach here a little bit. So anyway, before we get started, just a couple of different housekeeping tips real quick here. I just want to remind everybody that if you didn't get a chance, go on fishthemoment.com, check out Johnny and I's bass camp that we have October 2nd. We're going to be putting on a full day seminar at the Boatworks facility, Springfield, Missouri, October 2nd. Johnny's going to take care of all the offshore part of the seminar. I'm going to take all the shallow water applications. You can sign up for that at fishthemoment.com. Hope to see you there. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the drag settings here. There's really three different ways that I'm talking about setting a drag here. And first of all, I'm going to talk about spinning reels. Here is how I set a spinning reel. I basically lock my spinning reel drags down because I back reel 100% of the time. We've had this conversation before, and you see guys all the time on the Elite Series. They've got their braided line on there, and they've got a big smallmouth on, and they're sitting there peeling line off their drag like that. Or they're setting it super loose, and the smallmouth's fighting, they're peeling it off. Guys, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. That is just not the way to do it. That is the most inefficient way to do it. You can simply not react to the fish's turn, the fish's surges, the fish's movements by using a drag like that. You know, if you're having to peel it out with your hand, you're doing something wrong. The thing you want to get used to, and all this takes is practice. A lot of the top, guys that have fished spinning reels forever do this. Set your drag tight, because when you set the hook, you don't have any slippage. Take your anti-reverse off and back reel everything. That's the easiest way to do it. You can control a fish. You can read its movement. I don't care how fast it surges. You can back reel super fast and give it as much or as little pressure as you want. I have landed bass or striped bass up to 37 pounds on 8-pound test line with a spinning rod. No, 6-pound test line actually on a spinning rod. Back reeling. There's not a fish out there that can run faster than you can back reel. It's a super, super effective way to control the fish, much better than any other drag. So you guys can go to some other channels and they're going to tell you about setting your drag and peeling it out. I don't go for any of that. I think it's ridiculous. Learn to back reel and you'll be way ahead of the game. I can promise you. Once you get good at back reeling, you'll never go back. Never. Same with the guys that I take jerkbait fishing. Once I teach them how to throw a jerkbait on a spinning rod, they never go back to bait caster. Okay, there's two other ways that I set a drag on my bait casting reels. Okay, the first way that I set a drag on a bait casting reel is I basically lock it down, or I set it extremely tight. And the baits that I do this on are the baits like some of my heavier plastic worms, jigs, single hook lures, sometimes swim baits, the baits that have a beefy hook on it. And the reason I do this, even if I'm using 15 to 30 pound test line, is I don't want any slippage when I set the hook on a single hook lure. I want a solid hook set. I don't want any slippage. And if I get a big fish out that's taking line, simply push your button on your thumb of your reel and thumb that fish. You can control how much pressure you want to put on that thumb just with your thumb. It's easy to do. You can put as much pressure or as little pressure on it. You don't have any hook slippage on there. The third way and the final way that I set a drag is I set a drag fairly light on any time that I'm fishing like a crankbait or a lipless crankbait. And what I want to do is most of the time I'm fishing this on 10 to 15 pound test line, and I want to be able to peel it out fairly easy, because when I set the hook on a crankbait, I pull into it. I don't set the hook hard, and I want to be able to pull into that crankbait and reel hard and just feel a slight amount of slippage in the drag. But even though I have the drag set light, I still thumb the bar. If I have a crankbait fish on and he's hooked by one barb in there, The light drag sometimes will help me out if it's a distance away, but when I get that fish up by the boat, anytime I get a crankbait or a treble hook lure fish at the boat, I've got my thumb on the thumb spool, leading the fish around the boat in anticipation that that fish is going to take off, and I simply let the thumb tension off my spool, and I can put as much or as least pressure on that fish as I want to. And you know, it's been super effective for me. So again, guys, there's simple techniques that'll work for you. Lock your drag down on your spinning reel, back reel 100% of the time. Set your drags pretty tight on single hook, large diameter hooks, and set them pretty loose on your treble hooks, and you won't have any problem on that. It's nice and simple, and it's just a matter of getting used to that. And guys, once you get used to back reeling and once you get used to thumbing your spool, you'll be amazed at how you can control the amount of pressure that you can put on a fish or not put on a fish. You'll lose far less fish. So anyway, guys, that's just a quick tip. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be back soon with another one. See you.